Hello, everybody. I am Wish. This is your WDL recap. Bit of a weird episode today. We're just going to do a shorter episode. Long story short, I graduated from college, but that meant that for a couple weeks I was a bit short on time. I wasn't around as much for recap, and I've kind of decided I'm going to cut my losses. Uh, Anything that's in nominations will get considered, of course, for our award shows when the season ends. But for now, I just want to talk about state of the season or state of the league and what's happening in between seasons and what will happen next season. And to talk with me this week, I have Mr. BlueScheep again. How's it going, buddy?
Backed by popular demand. The
Indeed.
demand being me. I demanded myself.
I think I asked you to come on, so I
That's
also was demand. And I'm like a little
potentially correct.
popular. I'm like I'm like a little popular. So my
Niche
popular
internet
demand.
micro celebrity.
Pico's celebrity. So let's just start with where we're at right now in the season. I've got the standings pulled up. So I am 6-0 at plus 13. And then our
I
next.
sure am on the list as well.
You're here. We got Dax right on my tail, 5-1 with a better diff than me at plus 17.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
Crook has been on a tear, 5-1 at plus 12 with the starter team. He also recently went through some changes for his team, and I believe they've been going pretty well for him as well. Jay, our man, who is also currently in exams. That's why he's not here with us today. And wish him well. But he is 4-2 at plus 11. Sai is 4-2 at plus 5. Shout out Sai running Zoroa. Always does great work. Mara at 3-3 plus 4. Pun Pun 3-3 minus 3, who I believe would have a positive record if they hadn't inherited some losses at the start of the season from taking over as a what do they call it? A replacement
How
coach.
many matches has he done?
4. I want to say 4.
Probably positive then, yeah.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised.
And then Rasta as well, 3-3 minus 3, tied for the 7th slot there, and that's our top 8. You are 2-4 at plus 0. At plus 0.
That's the only redeeming quality of
Yeah.
that scoreline. All the games were pretty close. Could have won them all, I think. Maybe not the one against you, I guess, but.
I think some of them were pretty winnable. You don't think our game was winnable? It's been so
Yeah,
long,
well,
I
one
can't
time
even
I
tell.
got really unlucky, and then the other time I misplayed really hard by not bringing Psychic on Moth, and then that kind of lost me the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then against you, it was just close.
Mm-hmm. Anything jump out to you at kill leaders?
I mean, Greninja sitting firmly on top.
I love the Smon so much, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've watched a single replay where Celesteela is actually in play, so can't really talk about that.
Yeah, this
Cresselia,
is more
though.
about you. I've seen Happy pop off of
Cresselia,
Cresselia. Her ass is Celesteal, I mean.
yeah. Cresselia going kinda crazy, though.
Mm-hmm.
And Chimera as well.
Mm-hmm.
Big ups.
Huge ups. Dax has done more work with Goldango than I've ever seen anyone do with this mod. I'm gonna be honest.
Goldango is kinda crazy. I think we've all been underestimating that
I
guy.
think
I
I think
definitely
we've
wanna
all.
draft him.
I've definitely underrated it. I know I shit talk this mod a lot. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. This mod's unreal.
Okay, but what is Okie Dogie doing there, actually?
Sai's been doing work with it. It's his Terra Captain.
Well, yeah, it beat me, but still, what is...
No, it's the Terra Captain. So it gets out of the
Oh,
dog
yeah,
shit
yeah, true.
typing and then does work. This mod is not
True.
bad, dude. You're underrating this mod if
It's
you think
not.
it's bad.
It's not. It's really bulky
Yeah, it's really fat.
and still does damage.
Victini has like not done anything since the first 2 weeks. I swear to God, this mod has not done anything since the first 2 weeks. I think that's probably my
Overtaken by
fault, but
Iron Moth. Ooh, who's the better fire type here?
yours, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Yours came out like in Gen 9.
True. That's very fair.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about this Haunch Crow in the 20th spot? Holy based.
What is that doing there?
It's based is what it's doing there. So yeah,
Araquanid, yeah, that
that's how
makes
we're doing
sense.
right now. But I would like to talk about where we're going. So you'll remember I did the survey, right?
Hmm.
Now I will be doing
I
another
did
one
do that as well.
because I wanted to. Obviously, that survey didn't really include people who aren't playing. So I want to do another format survey, but there's like a little bit of awkwardness because we're trending towards a lot of nat decks because of how
Hmm.
it works with like the lower tier formats, like low tier and little cup. You kind of need nat decks or you run out of fucking mons. Um, but I know that there's like a lot of aversion to nat decks from some players in our league, yourself included. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm not 100% sure how we will be solving that yet. But I think part of what will help is that I think we now have the numbers required to enter a third division.
Yeah, you had a lot of people join recently. I
Yeah,
noticed
we had a
that.
lot of support for our tournaments, which shout out Sai for hosting the Monotide tournament. Shout out me for winning it. Um, and shout out to all our new gamers who hopped in to watch. Um, I'm hoping we have numbers for a third division, especially because I will continue to allow players to like sign up for multiple formats. I don't really see any reason not to. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I'm not 100% sure how we'll handle things. I know I will likely keep the creative Pokemon Mons to one division because I know there was a tiny bit of pushback for those in the survey we held. So I will not roll them out to all of our divisions just yet. I want to get a personal feel for them. Um,
Could make it a Sorod division type beat, maybe.
Maybe.
More
Um, there's been some
not
pushback on
not
the
low tier,
Ubers
of
front,
course, but yeah.
so I think
No,
instead of
Ubers
Ubers, I'll just
still
do
to me
like
sounds pretty bad, but
I think it's less bad than people were expecting or like are thinking, but I think it's
I mean,
fine.
I guess it depends on what Ubers you allow, because like some of the Ubers we talked about last time, like Darkrai, I just owe you now,
Yeah, exactly.
happens.
Yeah, I think there's some of that comes into play, especially because a lot of them are lower speed mons. They're obviously
A
not
bunch of them
balanced
are
for
already
normal
legal.
draft, but when a lot of them are legal, then
Yeah.
and you're only allowed a couple of them, that's when it comes in,
I
and
mean,
I
we have
think it should be
Landorus
okay.
in the tier. We have in the draft. I mean, we have Palafin already.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
have
think there would even be that many
like
new ones
Zamasees
coming.
play in other leagues. We've allowed Zamet in the
Yeah, yeah, for
past.
sure.
It would
Maybe
definitely be a
like
step
Mewtwo
up.
would make an appearance. I don't know.
Like if we allowed everyone to take like 1 to 2 Ubers based on how good the Uber is. But there's been some pushback, and I don't want to force anyone into playing it. And if it's not what people want to play, I'm not gonna put it up, right? So I think I'm aiming for like a NatDex format like we have now,
I
but
mean, as
with
long as there's
cap.
like one basic league, who cares what you do with the other two, right?
Yeah,
Could just do some experimenting.
but I also want to make sure that we still have some Paldea, some like normal Paldea for the folks that want it. Um,
I mean, depends on how many people actually end up wanting it, right? I guess a poll is best,
so
maybe.
the thing is that there's only a few people who do only want to only play Paldea, but
Hmm.
the people who don't like Natex feel very strongly about not liking Natex. And I don't want to alienate
Yeah.
anybody.
I mean, comment down below, am I right?
Yeah,
How you feel about this?
even if you don't comment on the podcast, but reach out to me specifically
Just like in the Discord, who
and let me,
cares, yeah.
yeah, in Discord or on in my DMs on Discord. If you have any ideas or if you have any thoughts. Um, we're definitely I do want to try for the third division. I think it'll help. I want to make sure that we still always have a Paldea option for our players who want Paldea if it's something we can feasibly do. Um, but I know myself personally, I'm much prefer Nat decks at this point. I don't have much interest in playing Paldea, um, and I'd like to be able to support both. I think we can support both. I just have to find the way to do it. Um, there's been some back and forth on the Terra rules as well. Um, I think at some point, like if we do cap, I will likely make it either low tier or no Terra. I need
I
to figure
think
out.
no Terra makes a lot of sense, because all these
Yeah.
mons are so weird, you don't know what to do with them.
Well, most of them
We
are
kind of
higher
do, but
tiered than low tier.
yeah, a lot of
Like,
them are really good.
Yeah, so I think it's either low tier or no Terra. I wouldn't want to let Mons I don't know how to tier Terra. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
I
want to
think
learn the
it's
Mons
like
first.
learn them all.
Yeah. Um,
Can't let
and
Chumbao Terra.
there's a lot of them that look crazy that you just cannot let Terra. I'd assume at least. Um, so yeah, we're taking that slow on that front, and I'll only release them to one division. Um, there's been a lot of requests for low tier again, so it will likely continue to happen. I don't see any reason to not always have like a low tier division running. Um, there was a decent amount of support for stuff like Little Cup, and I know we've been kicking around other gimmicky format ideas like having people build like drafts for each other or teams for each other, stuff like that. That is definitely staying in my mind. I'm not sure which exact one we will do, but I would like to make
I
sure
think
that
a
we always
teams
have like a
format could
more,
also be interesting.
yeah, I like a doubles duo format,
Hmm.
right? I always want to make sure I've liked what Zora as a division has brought to the league, and it is something I
The
want to
whole
continue.
the whole vibe is pretty great. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I want to continue.
definitely have been some tiering mistakes, but you know it how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've made more tiering mistakes than anyone I know, so my tiering has been pretty bad in the past, but I've been
To
getting
be
better
fair, I
at it.
think the Sora arc tier is actually pretty good. I mean, letting Cresselia Terra, maybe a bit of an overlooked one,
I'm
but
gonna be honest, I don't think so.
really, I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
I think I think you are not allowed to beat Cresselia in like a fair way. But if you start running,
Mm,
like it's coming, you're allowed to run stuff like Taunt and Encore and phasing
very true.
especially. Phasing is really strong into,
NetEx in general has more of it, yeah.
yeah, just like Whirlwind and stuff like that. It's really strong into a mon that doesn't have like a lot of immediate pressure. Um,
Very true.
yeah, I don't think it's like bad at all. I think it's a good mon, but I don't think it's unbeatable at all. Um,
Well, it has been beaten
yeah,
once.
yeah, it has been beaten. Um, yeah, in terms of off season, I know other leagues do like off season like seasons almost. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't think we'll be doing that. If anything, we
Definitely
may
didn't do it last time.
no. But I will be doing better about that this time. I think we will have at
There's
least
a
a week
little
break,
more space.
if not more than a week's break in between our seasons, um, during which we'll probably host like tournaments and speed tours so that people still can get their fix. But I will not be chaining seasons like we did last time, where we were having a season's draft happen at the same time as a season's finals.
It wasn't stressful at all.
Oh yeah,
It was
source
completely fine.
finalist.
Definitely didn't impact my draft either.
Do you think it has like actually set you behind in your draft?
Well, I didn't really think about my draft in depth at all. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look at the first like expensive mon that looks cool, and then I'm gonna build around
Okay,
it.
I gotcha.
So I chose Tapu
Coco,
Koko, and then I just went from
ran with
there.
it.
And it worked out fine. Not the greatest team, but it's definitely playable.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know if you're still able to make ploffs? Your diff is good.
I am able to if I win twice and other people don't win twice.
I see. Because you're in the sea of two fours.
There's a bunch of 3-3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 3-3s. I'm the best 2-4 by far. Not by far, by 4 kills, let's be real. But if I happen to win twice, I think I have a really good diff to actually make it.
Hmm.
Yep.
And
I don't think I'll I don't think I can lose again. So
like if you lose again, you're out.
hmm
I've seen you win these.
I gotta go against Dax. And Dax
Oh,
has only lost once. Across both leagues, by the way. He's 6-0 in Soroa. Which is kinda crazy. But
holy.
definitely winnable, I
Hmm.
must say.
I've seen you win these.
I have a good matchup for once, I think.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Your team's very aggressive.
hmm
Um, I will say we will be doing the same playoff structure as last season, where higher seeded players get to choose their matchups. I've liked it a lot every time
That
we've
was
done it.
very fun. Yeah.
Um,
Getting to pick someone to take out is also pretty interesting.
yeah, well, I mean, like it's a reward for
Actually doing well, yeah.
actually performing, and I like that. It means that like the weeks beforehand matter more, and yeah, I like the dynamics that come from it.
Do you already have a pick in mind? I know it's a bit early, but
I haven't thought about it. I'll be completely
okay.
honest. I haven't thought about it at all. Um, who would you hope to get picked by if you got picked?
I mean, if I beat Dax and then get picked by him, that would be pretty fun.
That'd be pretty sick.
I don't know if I want to go up against the starter team. That one's whack.
Cook can cook.
I would also like to go up against JSauce again. Run it back.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. I think those two mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Dax or JSauce.
That's pretty sick. Punching up.
Well, Dax and me have a long history in playoffs. Played twice in both seasons.
Yep. Hey, I lost to him last season in playoffs. Feels like
I
just
was
yesterday.
looking at I was looking at how many games I played last season,
Mm-hmm.
and I like played against almost everyone, and I also won against almost everyone. I specifically didn't win against Cole, and I also didn't win against you because we never played. But I don't think I've won against you yet in
No, you
any
haven't.
season.
Here, I can pull it up.
And so, if we meet in playoffs, that would also be interesting.
Yeah, I'm 3-0 into you right now. That includes
Be
the
like
speed tour game, but
sometimes.
do we play? We don't play in main season, do we? Because I play Kevin and I
No,
play Jay.
I plays what's his name, Skulisopod
Mm-hmm. And then Dax.
last. Yeah, you had the week 9 in there for a while. I think I would have played JSauce in week 9.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about that. Yeah, the doc was incorrectly reflecting a ninth and a 10th week, just because of how it's built. I think that got unhidden at some point. Maybe I'm coping,
I
but
think it was unhidden because I
I
was
think it was
confused about
probably from
seeing
the
it as
start.
well.
But yeah, we've always ran 8 week seasons, and then it'll continue to be 8 week seasons as far as I know. Any
I
longer, I
think it's a
think, is
pretty
just too
good.
long.
Yeah, because right now I think it's pretty clear. There's like a few people on top, and then there's like the actually interesting midfield.
Hmm.
And if we had more weeks, it would just be more of a difference and be less interesting in the last week, I feel like.
Yeah, it would separate more. I see what you
hmm
mean. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about in terms of like state of the league. Um, I mean, I'll continue to mention that like the league is open to friends of friends. I know it's not in a public state, and it will likely continue to not be in a public state. But
As long as we have enough people, there's no reason to open it up
I
to
agree. Even when we didn't, I
random.
still like when we didn't have enough people like at the start of this season.
hmm
I still
For the
didn't want
first
to.
season.
Yeah, I like the vibe we have. I know
Humble beginnings.
I put up the vote originally to open the league, but I'm glad that people voted no, so we didn't open the league to the public.
Yeah, overall very friendly. Not a lot of salt, although I have been salty. That is not to be denied, sadly.
Still, yeah, I don't see us opening the league to the public anytime soon. Um, I will continue to like invite people that I meet that I enjoy, but I don't want to like not have that kind of like personal filter. You know, like either I'm inviting people or the people I know are inviting people. You know,
Hmm.
I don't yet want like people who nobody knows to join. Um,
I think a
just to
good point
preserve
to
the
add
vibe.
that I think the overall handling of the leaks and everything surrounding it, including how to handle people not showing up to games and whatever, which hasn't happened a lot yet, um, has been done very well by all the mods and you, of course.
Hmm. I've like it's awkward obviously because like just by the dynamic of like this is only people we know, it's like a little harder for me to like I don't want to be harsh. You know,
Hmm.
these are all friends. Everyone is in the league. You know,
I think that's
um,
a big upside of
no, for
doing it
sure,
like this as well.
but it becomes hard to like moderate and
Oh yeah, of course.
be harsh. Um, I try to be like pretty. I know there was like the rule that like if you're not scheduled on Thursday,
I didn't know
I
about
won't be
that
giving
rule. I'm gonna be
extensions.
real honest.
I've mentioned it a few times. I've pinged people and stuff. But like I haven't been strictly enforcing it. Like if people ask me later on in the week, I'm usually because like I still want people to just play the game. You know.
Exactly.
Um, there have been some forfeit wins that have just had to go out, but I don't know. If I see people like scheduling their games and stuff, and then they reach out because something happens or whatever, then I'm happy to give out the extensions. I always
Much
have been.
better than not reaching out and not saying anything at all, because that's the worst.
Yeah, well, I'm just less willing to give it out at that point, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So we are looking just to recap. Third, so three divisions ideally next season. There will be a break between seasons. Catmons will likely be restricted to one format, and that format will not let them Terra. Um, unless it is like I don't think there are any Catmons that are like that low in the tiers.
I don't
But I
think
would
so
probably
either, but I
just
also have no idea.
I would probably just Terra ban them anyways, just to be safe, because even in low tier Terra there are Terra bans, right? Um,
Hmm.
yeah, we will keep doing low tier. Little Cup has been on the up, and same with like gimmick type formats. Especially if we can explore the gimmick type formats in what do you call it?
Normal.
Tournaments.
Ah,
Um,
true. True, true,
that'll
true.
help as well. Um, and by gimmick, I don't mean gimmick league like the league Cyanide and Happy have joined. I mean like
That one's a little crazy, I'm
no, I
gonna
mean
be honest.
gimmicks like the um, one person builds and another plays, or like um, duos with a partner, or like doubles with a partner type stuff, and or like Nemesis draft, right? Where you like draft or like build for your opponent, stuff like that.
Interesting.
Um, uh, stuff like that, yeah. Um, we can maybe like test in speed tours or just see how things go um, in between seasons. So there will be at least a week, if not more, break between the seasons. And I'll put up another poll probably within the next couple of weeks, probably when main season ends and we transition into uh,
Off season.
uh, playoffs. Is
Ah,
when I
okay.
will
Okay,
I'll
okay.
do that. Uh, can you think of anything else? I just wanted to do a shorter episode, kind of cut my
Yeah,
losses.
I mean, unless you wanna talk about any of the games,
Um,
I think everything
I
has
haven't
been
been
said.
keeping up, if I'm completely honest with everybody. Is I haven't been keeping up as well as I had been in earlier weeks, just because of like school finals and I was moving out.
That's
Um,
fair.
I've been home since, and I haven't wanted to just be like a gremlin upstairs in my room away from my family, because I've really missed my family. Um,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
so it was even like hard to find a time to record last week because I just wanted to be around family. I've been
Very based.
yeah,
We will continue that
Yeah,
trend then, I guess, and end it off here.
yeah, I'm down to call it here. But yeah, thank you for coming on and mostly listening to just me ramble about the league. Um,
If you did it by yourself, it would just be weird.
yeah, it would really be weird, especially without like a face cam or anything, because y'all don't know my ugly mug. But
Schizophrenic ramblings.
yeah. So thanks for hanging out. Thank you everybody for listening. Just a shorter episode. We will be back with like hopefully normal episodes with like
I gotta talk
nominations.
about the playoffs, right? Or
Sorry?
like how they're gonna end up looking, you know?
What do you mean, sorry?
Gotta talk about the playoffs.
Oh yeah, we'll be like I still want to do weekly episodes. I still want to talk about nominations and all the normal stuff, but I'm just cutting my losses from like the couple weeks I missed during finals, um, and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, we will be back with your regularly scheduled recap next week. But Sheep, thank you for hanging out, and thank you all for
No
listening.
problem.
And good luck in your WDL games.
Bye.